early, bruv. He peaked when he won his first Ballon d'Or. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones, because his numbers stayed at a certain level. People were saying, "Oh, look how long he was in his prime." He wasn't in his prime, bro. He was just maintaining, bro, a very high level of number output. But
that's
that wasn't his prime.
I'll say
You know, like that. I see Messi at PSG, and it took him a while, bro. He struggled to acclimatize. You could see it. Like, you could see that the league was a lot more physical. He didn't have the amount of time on the ball that he was used to. Like, he was getting the ball and people were nicking it off him. I'd never seen Messi tackled until he played football in France. You know, but that's what I'm saying. And then you had prime Rooney, bro. You had number 8 Rooney at Man United with the skinhead, bro. It was on smoke.
Yeah. With the gloves.
Yeah, bro. That Rooney was on smoke, bro. That was prime Rooney, bro. That was like early 2000s Rooney.
Growing up watching Rooney, bro. I feel like Rooney didn't have one prime. I feel like he had more than one prime for me because he was way too versatile for his own good. Like,
if the knee injury was that bad, yeah, how's man still playing for nearly 40 years old, bro?
The whole direct winger approach, almost as a striker, and getting involved in all facets of the game. And you could probably say that, yeah, he probably did get hungry for goals. And especially the pressure of being a Galactico in itself means you have to deliver. You have
goals in the 2008 season, yeah, that he won the Ballon d'Or. He was in the box a lot. He was already turning into that kind of player, bro. I remember it, bro. I remember it because I watched it back very recently. I think maybe a week ago or stuff like that. Because remember when people were having the Hazard CR7 debate?
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to go back and look at 2008 CR7 because I remember living through it. And because there weren't really many players like him at the time, yeah, Ronaldo was like, you get me? But now, when I look back at it, now, and I see the goals he scored, I wasn't remembering that. I was just remembering he was scoring bare goals. But when you look at the kind of goals he was scoring, getting into the box, stuff like that, he was always going to turn into that player, bro. It's like he got a taste for the goals. He got the Ballon d'Or, and he just became addicted to scoring goals, bro. Like, that's what happened.
Have you noticed how some of these, man, are like some of the greatest players of, like, I don't want to say, it's like, if you look at the Kantes and the Pogbas, it's not really aged very well with those guys. I don't know why. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's not really aged very well past the 30s. I feel like Kante's body broke down quite early. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like, okay, maybe Matuidi played until the 30s, a bit longer than we expected him to. Because that was the Holy Trinity, innit? That was the three.
Yeah, them three,
Them three were the one that it was almost like your perfect international blend where every man, like Matuidi was a bit of Kante and Pogba. Pogba was the flary, you know what I'm saying, the flary type, and then Kante was, Pogba was the flary type, and obviously Kante being the more robust destroyer type player. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like some of these guys that are so good as pure footballers, their peaks don't last that long these days, and that, I don't know if that's because of fouls. I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, peaks are not supposed to last, bro. And you could argue that CR7's peak didn't last long. Messi's peak didn't really last long. But you know what kept their peaks up there, yeah? It was their team, bro, and the systems that they were in. Do you know what I mean? Because man can't tell me that CR7 at Juventus was still in his prime. He wasn't, bro. He peaked early, bruv. He peaked when he won his first Ballon d'Or. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones, because his numbers stayed at a certain level. People were saying, "Oh, look how long he was in his prime." He wasn't in his prime, bro. He was just maintaining, bro, a very high level of number output. But that wasn't his prime.
I'll say,
you know, like that.
With Messi and Ronaldo, I'll say for me, because I think it's the base level was so high, it can be like Messi and Ronaldo at their peak is like, it's different, isn't it? Like, you know, we can't compare them to other footballers. Like, I say for me, like Messi's base level is anyone else's peak.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. This is what it is. But even saying that, I see Messi at PSG, and it took him a while, bro. He struggled to acclimatize. You could see it. Like, you could see that the league was a lot more physical. He didn't have the amount of time on the ball that he was used to. Like, he was getting the ball and people were nicking it off him. I'd never seen Messi tackled until he played football in France. You know, like that. I never see him tackled, bro. Like, and so it's one of them ones where, bro, like, a lot of players, like, stats will pad, their prime. Because even if you look at Karim Benzema, bro, his prime was younger, bro. But then when Ronaldo left Real Madrid, he scored bare goals, and bare people saying Benzema's prime and that. But bro, Benzema's prime was early. It's just that he wasted his prime, yeah, not getting stats. So people didn't rate him, bro. But his prime was not at 34 years old. It wasn't. Whose prime is at 34?
Yeah, that's crazy. No, but not 34.
But that's what I mean. But that's what people would lead you to believe, because that was the highest goal output that he put out for Real Madrid in his 30s. But his prime was early, bro. So when people look at primes, like, when were you at your best? Like, nothing to do with numbers, bro. Like, when were you actually at your best? When were you at your most devastating? Like, when I saw like young Messi with the shit trim, bro, before he cut his hair and grew the goatee and that. Messi before the facial hair was an absolute assassin, bro. Do you know what I mean? Prime Rooney. That's it.
Blonde hair Messi was nuts.
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And then you had Prime Rooney, bro. You had number 8 Rooney at Man United with the skinhead, bro. It was on smoke.
Yeah. With the gloves.
Yeah, bro. That Rooney was on smoke, bro. That was Prime Rooney, bro. That was like early 2000s Rooney. That was Prime Rooney. Even though Rooney scored 30 goals and that after that, bro, that wasn't Prime Rooney, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? So people mistake people's actual prime, physical prime, and their level with numbers. That's what they're doing, bro. Do you know what I mean? So
prime is attributed to every player individually. Their prime is different. Their prime is measured to the player's basic level as well. As you said. You know what I'm saying? I always say with Rooney, someone who, again, growing up watching Rooney, bro, I feel like Rooney didn't have one prime. I feel like he had more than one prime for me, because he was way too versatile for his own good. Like, he was so versatile. Again, man can play 8, 10, right wing, left wing, and you'll get this, and you'll get a certain level out of him. But yeah, no, it's 100% in terms of the prime.
No, players can reinvent themselves. Like CR7 had a prime as a wide player, and then he probably had a prime as a centre forward. You know, like that.
That's because, again, people always forget Ronaldo after the first season hurt his knee. He got the knee injury in it, and he had to reinvent himself. I say the same with Salah. When Salah's shoulder got broke, I stopped seeing him taking a man on for about 2. I stopped seeing, bro. Man just started doing the again, more of the stat padding and creating from wide areas. Whereas before the shoulder injury, he was running at you at every opportunity, and that's fine, because listen, players are human. You know what I'm saying? They're not always gonna climatize to one style of play. It happens, isn't it?
No, 100%, bro. Like, you lose certain instincts when you don't play for a while, especially if you have a long-term injury. Everyone talks about this Ronaldo knee injury, bruv, but I don't know, innit? I don't know about it, bro. Like, his game changed so much. I don't think that the way his game changed there was necessarily just because of the injury, bro. I just think he just got hungry to score goals, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because I hear about this knee injury all the time, yeah, but I don't recall it, bruv. You know, like that. I don't remember man getting his knee snapped like Virgil's and that, and then man came back and that. But I don't remember that, bro. So, man, let me know what game it happened in, because I don't know about this knee injury. I know his stands talk about the knee injury all the time, yeah. But it's like, if the knee injury was that bad, yeah, how's man still playing for nearly 40 years old, bro? You know, like that. Like, how? Do you know what I mean? That's what I want to know, because I know how bad knee injuries are. I know how bad they are. I've seen them. Like, even Yannick was talking about it. Yannick had the same injury that Virgil had, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, man knows people that have had bad knee injuries. I've had 4 knee surgeries. Do you know what I mean? And he's playing at 39 or 38. So, how bad was this injury? You know, like that. Like, you lot had Djibril Cissé. I saw he done his Djibril Cissé broke his leg, and he done ACLs, everything.
His leg went out right.
Bro, his thing was collapsed, bro. Do you know what I mean? CR7 changed his game because he wanted to score goals, bro. I don't really care what anyone says. When man talking about like the knee injury, nah, bro. He changed his game because he wanted to score goals. Let's keep it a buck. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he wanted, to play down the middle. He wanted to score goals, bro. That was his thing. And even if you look at the goals that he was scoring at Man United, if you look, because I went back here and I watched his final season at United. When you look at the goals he scored a lot of goals in the box. He was already starting to float inside at Man United in that Ballon d'Or season. Go back and watch it. Go back and watch some of the goals he scored. A lot of the goals he scored were in the box, you know, little first time finishes in the box and that. He was already drifting inside to kind of be in that center forward, bro. Do you know what I mean? It weren't none of this, oh yeah, like the injury made him have to reinvent himself like Michael Owen, bro, when he lost his hamstrings and he turned into a poacher. Owen's game completely changed, yeah.
Yeah,
Because he had some massive injuries, bro. Like, I'm not trying to hear this. He changed because of the knee injury, bro. He changed because he got a taste for scoring goals and he just never looked back.
Yeah, no, I think there is some context to the fact that because I look at Ronaldo where he used to love the whole direct winger approach, almost as a striker and getting involved in all facets of the game. And you could probably say that, yeah, he probably did get hungry for goals. And especially the pressure of being a Galactico in itself means you have to deliver. You have to deliver. Like, again, Benzema didn't get his plaudits until he was 34. Even by his own fans. Real Madrid fans used to boo Benzema. People forget that. Man used to get booed, bro. Booed. Heavy. Because them Real Madrid fans are tapped. They are tapped in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, obviously, I don't think it's one or the other. I think that you can be in the middle with the Ronaldo thing and say that the knee injury was what people in the chat were saying it actually was bad, but he was fit for long enough after that to definitely go back to almost being a robust winger type player. But he'd already become accustomed to a goal scorer who still had all those attributes. Anyway.
Man said his knee injury was in 2014, but he won the Ballon d'Or in what 2008 or 9.
The worst one he had was when he
and he was already drifting inside and scoring then at Man United. So trust me, the injury didn't have nothing to do with it, bro.
Yeah, the ligament injury he had was in the Euros. No, that was the Euros. That was like 2015, 2016. No, we're not talking about that one. I thought there was one before that. But
bro, yeah. I think that excuse is a myth, blood. I think that excuse, and it hasn't come from him. It's come from his stands, bruv. That's what it's come from, to try and make excuses for why he had to change his game to keep him on the same level as Messi and that, bro. Listen, let's keep it a buck, yeah. Like, when man watched the goals, watch the goals in the 2008 season, that he won the Ballon d'Or. He was in the box a lot. He was already turning into that kind of player, bro. I remember it, bro. I remember it because I watched it back very recently. I think maybe a week ago or stuff like that. Because remember when people were having the Hazard CR7 debate?
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to go back and look at 2008 CR7 because I remember living through it. And because there weren't really many players like him at the time, Ronaldo was like, you get me? But now, when I look back at it, now, and I see the goals he scored, I wasn't remembering that. I was just remembering he was scoring bare goals. But when you look at the kind of goals he was scoring, getting into the box, stuff like that, he was always going to turn into that player, bro. It's like he got a taste for the goals. He got the Ballon d'Or and he just became addicted to scoring goals, bro. Like, that's what happened. Because you saw at Real Madrid.
Nothing wrong with that, though.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. Do you know what I mean? But I think, but don't lie and blame it on something else, bro. That's the player he wanted to be, bro. Like, he's someone who he needs something to chase, innit? You know them ones. He needs something to chase. He needs numbers to chase.
That's his dopamine. That's how he gets it. Yeah.
And that's what motivates him.
I just looked at it now, by the way. It was ankle. It was the same ankle injury that he had on his last season at United. So in 09-010, he had an injury that had him out for like maybe 2 months. So it wasn't even a knee injury, it was his ankle injury. The knee was in 2016, and that had him out for 60 days. So that was a lengthy one.
There you go. But even for a knee injury, bro, 2 months ain't a long time out, bro. I'll be real. Like, knee injuries have man out for a whole year, bruv. Like, look how long Virgil was out.
Yeah,
look how long Virgil was out, bro. 2 months out with a knee injury is calm. You know, like that. 2 months.
The scar on that knee. The scar.
2 months.
Bro, you can still see the scar on Virgil's knee in it. Like,
bruv, 2 months for a knee injury, that's a light scratch. You know them ones. 2 months. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. I'll be real. 2 months is not a long time for any kind of knee injury, bro. At all. Do you know what I'm saying? And like you said, it was 2016. A lot happened. He was already playing centrally before that.
Yeah.
So
still at the top of his game, but yeah, it's again. I just think there's nothing wrong with, obviously, as you said, like adjusting his game. I still think his all-round game was underrated at times because, again, I think whenever a player becomes so good at goal scoring, everyone seems to kind of forget that all the other attributes that they provide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's so many examples of that. You know what I'm saying? Everyone thinks Lewandowski, and any basic football fan will just, you know, look at his goal scoring and go, oh my God. But Lewandowski was a good striker, bro. He could do everything.
Oh, he was a good all-round centre
Yeah,
forward.
like he was a very accomplished footballer. It's again though, but some footballers, and the reason why Lewandowski for me, I think Kane will probably go down as the better striker individually. But me, the reason why I gravitated towards Lewandowski a bit more is because even though Kane, for me, probably was the better passer, if you look at him, the way he's able to string play together, I think Lewandowski could do those things. But Lewandowski was smart enough to know when he needed to do it and when he didn't need to do it. I think Kane in his head goes, no, I'm going to be the guy to do everything. I'm going to be the guy to do everything at all times. It's never just, all right, this game, let me just stay in the box. Let me just be in the box this game. I don't.
Yeah, I think that depends on your supporting cast as well, though.
Yeah,
of course. What I'm saying?
But I'm talking about even at Bayern Munich. The Bayern Munich fans are starting to get frustrated with Kane. I'm not saying it's Kane's fault that they're where they are. I think Kane's
but Bayern Munich are very, their fans are very particular. They want it how they want it, when they want it, all the time. Do you know what I mean? That's why they didn't like Pep. That's why they didn't like Nagelsmann. Now they don't like Kane because they want a Lewandowski all over again. Do you know what I mean? But Kane scored 20-something goals in 20-something games, bruv. What are you talking about? And they're still not happy. Like, these men are on crack. This is, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, bro, same as the Madrid fans when they're booing Benzema, bro. Like, I play Benzema to be getting booed is, bro. This is why I say these fans are different. But to be fair, Rants, if your team had won the league 10 times in a row, to be honest, bro, I hear it. You know what I'm saying? These men are winning the league year in, year out, year in, year out. So I'm not saying I agree with it, but it is what it is. But I still think...
Yeah, but they're not winning because of him, bro. Look at the rest of your team because he's doing his job.
It's bro, the team, because again, that team, the worst thing is on paper, they still look like a team capable of competing at the highest level in Europe. But for me, when you take certain players out, it's affected them way more than it should have. When Thiago went Liverpool, there was like, obviously Kimmich has gone into midfield, never really quite looked the same. Goretzka never really quite looked the same. You're looking at Ribery and Robben, who were winning leagues at the age of 34, 35. You bring in Sane and Gnabry. Gnabry done his thing for a certain amount of time. Sane never really hit the heights. The worst one for me is Upamecano. Like, he is horrible in it. I think he is, honestly, like, I think anyone who goes up against a team who plays Upamecano at centre-back, you always have a chance of winning the game. In like the crop of three, you had Konate, him, and Mukiele in it that come out of the Leipzig crop.
Yeah, they got bumped, bro. They took the worst one.
Worst one, bro. And the worst thing is he plays, and I'm not even saying Delete is the thing, because he's been underwhelming since his move from Ajax.
Yeah, he's a Dutch Maguire, bro. He's a bum as well.
Yeah, but like the whole centre back setup over there is bad. Like, they might as well stuck with Hummels and Sule at this point. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, so there's so much wrong with that club. But Upamecano, the fact that they keep going with the strong, fast, don't care about his any other attributes, is for me.
But that's why Tuchel's getting sacked, isn't it? That's why I think it's crazy for these men to look at Harry Kane, who scored more goals than he's played games, as the reason why. Oh, fucking Dave, blood. I swear down. This bro, you on drugs or something, blood? Does man always do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, flipping, bro, it's not making sense, bro. I'll be honest. To blame Harry Kane of all people, like, it's weird, isn't it? But this is the thing with them, man. They don't like anything that's not their thing, bro. And that's why they didn't like Pep as well, bro. And this is why the next manager, if the next manager is not German, then it's peak, blood. You know what I mean? Because even the fact that Tuchel got the job, even, like, why the fuck would they give him the job?
It's true. But me, I think too, again, like, where's his legacy? Like, what has he, as you said, I struggle to think of the legacy that Tuchel has had to go and say, he's your guy. Like, you know, what's the, like, can anyone tell me his style of football? Can anyone tell me? I
would just say that he's just mad pragmatic. Like, if I thought of a Thomas Tuchel, I just think of him the same way I think of Conte and Jose. Do you know what I mean? Them man are just
Bit more
negative.
modern.
Like, yeah, they're just exactly a more modern version of them. Like this brother just gets results in it. Like there's no style, there's no care, there's no nothing. It's just he just stinks his way through games, bro. He's awful, bro. Do you know what I mean? But because he's actually won trophies, it still puts him in the conversation when he shouldn't really be there.
No, facts. No, I agree.
It still puts him in the conversation because he wins trophies, whether you like it or not, innit? Like he can say, I won this, I won that, I won this, I won that.
UCL holds weight, innit? UCL does hold weight. It holds weight still. So, you know what I'm saying? People say, oh, if he's won the same amount as Klopp, UCL's as Klopp, fair enough. Again, for me, Klopp is superior in every single way, but trophies are they're the currency of football, in my opinion. And that Chelsea team that won the Champions League, I actually don't think that Chelsea team was that good. So I have to give him credit for that. You know what I'm saying?